Like, wow, everybody.
Oh my.
It's Slayer Talk.
There you go.
And now your hosts, Mark and Carol. Oh my God. So I'm feeling a bit under the weather today.
Yeah, I cannot believe you even tried that.
Hello, my name is Mark. With me as always is my fiance, Carol. How you doing today, Carol?
Hey, what's up?
How much? It's been a good week here. It's, I don't know, it's March.
Sometime in 1998. That's the best we can give you.
I know what it is. It's March 2nd, 1998.
Is it, though?
It is.
I don't think so.
Why? Why don't you think that?
I don't know. I just want to fuck with you.
No, it's the 3rd. It's March 3rd, No, you're right. It's March 3rd, 1998. And
He's delirious with fever, guys. Don't worry. Okay.
I
got him.
Much like Buffy in this episode, I am under the weather.
Oh my God. I didn't even put that together, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm sick too, but I'm not seeing a monster.
Are you sure?
Well, only when you're...
Choose your words carefully.
Only when your mother comes over. Oh, got her! No, I'm just joking. I like your mom. Only when our landlord comes over.
Right, there you go.
Anyway, so this episode is called Killed by Death.
It's a kind of weird title.
I feel like it's another callback to like vaudeville or something like that. It sounds like an episode of the Dick Van Dyke Show or something like that, or Burns and Allen or something.
Interesting.
George Burns and Gracie Allen, his wife.
I only know of them because you speak of them.
You know George Burns.
Hey, Grandpa.
Can I do a George Burns impression? No, I can't really do it, no.
So,
But he sounded like he smoked cigarettes or he smoked cigars all the time, and he lived to like 100 years old.
Yeah, he was pretty old and gross.
What the fuck? Wow.
What?
Mean.
What? He was surrounded in a cloud of cigar smoke all the time, and he sounded like that.
A very nice old man who was best friends with Jack Benny.
You know, is Mr. Burns supposed to sound like George Burns? Because he kind of does.
Hello, Smithers. Yeah, I guess so. Kind of, yeah, I guess. I never put that together. But not the same person.
No.
George Burns, of course, famous for those in our generation or another generation, as playing the devil in Oh God, You Devil.
Interesting.
Yeah. Of course, I fondly remember him from the film 18 Again. Did you ever see 18 Again?
No, I've never heard of it.
Charlie Slattery.
I've never heard of Charlie Slattery either, Grandpa.
He played, no, that's not an old man. He played Ferris Bueller in the terrible Ferris Bueller's Day Off TV show.
Oh.
That his sister was played by Rachel from Friends.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Weird.
What's her name again?
Jennifer Aniston.
Jennifer Aniston, yeah. He played Jennifer Grey's character. I guess they just decided to get another Jennifer.
I guess.
But
Jennifer Aniston's way prettier than Jennifer Grey.
Oh, agreed. But he played that in the terrible TV show that they made. But in the plot of the movie, the plot of 18 Again, is that George Burns is Charlie Slattery's grandfather. And Charlie Slattery's lone characteristic is that he's on the high school track team.
Okay.
He's really good as a runner. And his grandpa also was a runner when he was younger. So his grandpa it's his 80th birthday. So he's turning 80, his grandson's 18, and he makes a wish to be 18 again, and they switch bodies.
Oh, so it's like Freaky Friday.
Yeah, kind of. Like Freaky Friday or like the one with Fred Savage and Judge Reinhold. Vice versa.
You and
or the one with Dudley Moore and Kurt Cameron.
You and I live in
like father, like son.
different worlds.
Why?
Because you know about all this stuff that I am completely unaware of.
No, you don't like the body swap movies. It's one of my favorite genres of movie.
I didn't really think of it as a genre, but okay.
Yeah, it's a genre.
Fuck you.
Not a genre, but a genre. Genre.
Anyway, let's talk about Buffy.
Well, just a second though. So they switch places, and mostly it's Charlie Slattery doing his best George Burns impression. The scars and stuff. I can't laugh because it hurts my throat, but the way you're looking at me is very funny. Okay, let's talk. Let's talk about Buffy. I would hate to piss anybody off because we got a bad review
In our email.
Did you see that?
It was, emailed to us or posted on our website or whatever.
These people are terrible and they always get things wrong.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Fuck you guys. Just saying. Like,
no, not all of you.
No. Okay, not guys. Guy. The one person who took the time out of their day to write something mean about us. Do you know how many millions and bajillions of hours of time that we've put into making these tapes?
Yeah, we put a long time into this.
And, like, to have somebody be like, they just get stuff wrong. Like, go away. Don't listen if you don't like it.
Why don't you research your facts, sir?
Right? Like, seriously.
It's fine. It's fine. It doesn't make me as mad as it makes you. It's fine.
I'm just not in a good mood today.
People are entitled to their opinions, and if they want to spew them at us, I mean, we that's what we do. We make a living airing our opinions on Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
No, we don't.
We're 7 minutes into this episode, and we haven't talked about Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
I wish we made a living talking about Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Well, you know, we make a comfortable amount of money. Stop looking at me like that. Okay, tell me about Buffy. What happened?
So, in this episode, there is some virus going around the school.
Yeah.
And
I have it.
Buffy is sick and still trying to, like, patrol the graveyard. Why is she always only patrolling the graveyard? Is that the only place that vampires are supposed to be at night unless they're, like, raiding? I mean, like, it's weird.
They're raiding like they're in Dungeons and Dragons?
Well, what do you call it when they get in a big group and go kill people?
A horde.
Okay. I mean, it's just like, I got it, like, in the movie the one time she's in the graveyard because she's waiting for, somebody to wake up.
Yeah.
But, like, for that to be her main hangout, it's kind of weird.
Well, it's because they have the...
Catacombs.
They have the set, so...
Oh, that too.
Oh, they were in front of somebody's grave.
Sure.
Oh,
it was a cemetery.
I was going to make a joke.
Oh, did I step on your joke again?
No.
I do that all the time.
You do that enough, but no, it was a name. There was a name on there, and I was going to make a joke. Oh, they're standing in front of the graveyard of somebody. It's a last name, and it was a famous last name, but only
Whitman.
No, it wasn't Whitman. It's very esoteric, but I can't remember the name anymore.
Aw, did the fever get your brain?
I guess so. But anyway. If you ever see that episode again and you see the place that they're in front of, think to yourself, Mark was going to make that joke. And It's funny. If you even get the reference, I don't know.
I probably wouldn't because, again, not a grandpa.
You 100% wouldn't have gotten the reference. I remember thinking that, but
exactly.
I don't remember who it was.
But, okay, so she's in the graveyard and Angel comes up and starts beating the shit out of her because she's sick.
Correct.
And he's like,
well, it's easy now.
Yeah, I thought it wouldn't be as much fun, but it still is.
Right.
He's such an asshole.
It's still so much fun to beat the fuck out of you. It's so much fun to abuse a woman.
He's an ass. But
what do you think about all this? What do you think about? So we've had Angel, the good angel, and now we've got Angel, the bad angel. What do you like better?
Well, Can I just say one thing? I don't know about what I like better, but
I hope you say more than one thing.
he seems a lot happier now. I guess that's the whole point.
The actor, or
No, I mean, like, the character Angel
yeah,
seemed so, like, sad and tormented all the time. But that was the point. Having a
Right.
soul was supposed to make him feel like that.
sure.
And now that he has no soul and he's evil, he's so fucking happy all the time.
He really is.
Like, it's like the best thing in the world that it could have happened to him to lose his soul, because life's great, you know? Eating puppies and beating Buffy and whatever.
Eating puppies and beating Buffies.
I don't know. He does. He's a more fun character now.
Yeah,
I gotta say that. I mean, of course, like in like real, like, you know, whatever. I like Angel better as Angel, not, you know, mean Angel.
in real whatever. You were gonna say in real life.
In reality, like, if this was reality, I would, of course, prefer Angel with his soul.
Okay, I got.
But for entertainment purposes, I prefer this Angel.
I remember what it was now.
Okay, well, what's your joke?
They have a fight for some reason in front of Herb Alpert's grave.
Okay. I don't know who that is.
It says the graves, the big mausoleum thing or whatever, says Alpert, which is a weird last name. I think this is a reference. I think Joss Whedon, in honor of his dad, is putting a bunch of references to old stuff in. I mean, but Bewitched, Bothered, and Bewildered and shit like that. I think he's putting a bunch of references into like his dad's time. But Alpert is a weird last name. It's Alpert. Alpert.
Okay.
So it's not Albert, it's Alpert.
Okay.
Herb Alpert was a Jewish singer. He did that song, Hello Mother, Hello Father.
Okay.
Here I am in Camp Granada. You know that one?
Yes.
So, yeah, he was like a comedian / entertainer kind of guy. I think it's a reference.
Sure. Probably. Maybe.
Hello Mother, Hello Father. I believe it was called Hello Mother, Hello Father.
Maybe. It's just a really old set piece from back when that would have been relevant. And they just used what they had on hand.
Yeah.
Just,
The WB just has sets from the fucking 60s
Why
just
not?
laying around.
you think they throw that shit away?
Here's where your career is, Herb Albert.
Have you ever been in a prop closet? I mean, come on, they don't throw shit away because you never know.
Well, we've done stuff in a prop closet before.
Have we now? Have we?
I don't know, have we?
Have you?
Have you?
Do I want to know?
Do I want to know?
No, I haven't. Anyway,
I thought
moving
you're supposed to yes and.
on.
You're supposed to yes and things.
Oh, you want me to say yes, I fucked in a closet? No, thanks.
No, I said we did stuff in a closet, and you were like, "What?"
Oh,
Yeah.
well, whatever.
Anyway, so what happens in this episode? I forget.
Jesus. So,
Herb Albert dies.
doesn't Xander save her?
They all do.
They all do. Oh, yeah,
throw
they
a
all-
bag. They throw a bag over his
Yes,
head,
I forgot about that. I was
like he's a cat.
I was like, I love this. I love this tactic. Yeah, they put a bag over his head so they can, you know, get the jump on him. Buffy gets away, and then they all take their crosses, and they're like,
Yeah.
oh, you know, get out of here.
Cross.
Like, they all wear crosses all the time, and
Yeah.
yet he doesn't run in fear. But
only
they
when-
hold them out. That makes the difference.
It's only when they're brandished.
Right?
Crosses have to be brandished to have power.
But then they take Buffy to the hospital because she, like, passes out.
Yeah.
Because she's got a really high fever because she's sick.
Yeah. 107. They said.
That's insane. That's like seizure level fever,
It's because she's the Slayer or whatever. She
Yeah.
can handle higher fevers.
I guess.
It's part of her superpowers.
That's
Her
like,
vague superpowers.
what's the highest temperature you've ever had?
105, I think. Maybe?
Holy shit. That's awful.
Yeah.
Wow.
10. I think 105.1 or something like that.
I think the highest I ever had was 103.6.
Wow. That's pretty high.
Not as high as yours, though.
When I had it, I was like, "Hi, it's 105.1, the greatest hits."
But I think 107 would kill a normal person.
Yes, agreed.
So she's in the hospital. All she wants to do is go home. She's delirious. She's talking about the vampires. Who's going to stop the vampires and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And
they called her mom, so her mom's there.
Yeah, they're like wheeling her down the hall, and she's like saying all this shit about the vampires, and they're like, "Oh, she's just delirious from the fever." Mm-hmm. Thank God they had an excuse.
Giles is like, "Oh yeah, we'll get right on the vampires."
Didn't they have to strap her down?
Yeah.
Like, she was not okay. And then while she's in the hospital, she sees a scary monster dude walk down the hall.
Yeah, it's like from fucking Are You Afraid of the Dark or something?
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Oh, he looked like he's wearing some kind of mask. It looks.
He looked like Herb Albert.
I don't know what he looked like.
He looked like an Hasidic Jew who was also a monster.
What the fuck? He looked like he had a mask on, but I'm trying to think about like what kind of mask, how to describe it. Like a marionette.
Yeah, maybe. It's familiar. His look is familiar to me. Like from another horror movie.
Yeah.
Like not the Leprechaun, but like I don't know. Something like that though. Maybe I mean, like Puppet Master, you might be onto something there. But yeah, it looks familiar. Like it looks like a kind of a classic monster. It's the long nose, the stringy hair, the gaunt appearance.
Yeah, very creepy looking. And then we find out that she's a teenager, so she's in the children's ward. And we find out that one of the children that is there sick with the same virus died. So it is, I don't know, suspected that perhaps this dude had something to do with it, but it's also, at the time possible that...
Suspected by who?
Us?
Oh,
Buffy.
okay. Yeah, there you go. I was going to say, the staff's not suspecting it.
Buffy.
They see him walking down the thing with, like I said, stringy hair, long nose, pale complexion. They're like, it's a monster. And then someone was like, no, actually, that guy's just from Eastern Europe. We're like, oh, okay. No, but no one can see him except for the kids.
But
and it turns out the kids only can see him because of the fever. You have to have a fever to see them.
It's weird.
Yeah.
But then I guess he only kills you when you have a fever, so.
Yeah.
So we find out from Buffy's mom that she hates hospitals because when she was a kid, her cousin was in the hospital and died.
Yeah.
And she was alone with her and saw it happen.
Yeah.
Which is messed up.
Fucked up.
Like, who leaves a little girl alone in a sick kid's room, like, in the hospital?
Weird backstory that we didn't get until this episode, too.
And the little girl they got to play her did not look like her.
No, not really.
She had brown eyes and brown hair. Buffy is blonde. I don't know what color her eyes are, but I suspect they're blue.
I think they're brown.
Really? You think Sarah Michelle Gellar has brown eyes?
I don't know. I don't remember.
I don't know. We'll have to pay more attention next time.
Yeah.
But
I could describe her boobs to you.
oh, jeez.
I don't know about her eyes.
That's awful.
Just joking.
So there's, like, I don't know, a theory that one of the doctors has that if they, like, give these kids, like, a higher temperature, it'll kill off the virus or whatever.
Right.
But giving them this higher temperature is making them see the monster, so they're all scared.
Right. Exactly. And there's so many red herrings in this episode.
Yeah.
Where they're like, oh, maybe it's the doctor. The doctor's a fucking monster or whatever. Let's look him up. So Willow and and Giles look him up, and there's like, oh, he's got a rap sheet and everything. They don't say exactly what for, but they were like, he's a fucking criminal or whatever. And so you're thinking like, oh, he's into this, right?
Yeah.
And then the monster fucking kills the doctor.
But he does it in a violent way.
Yeah.
Not his usual MO.
True.
It's weird.
And then they're like, oh, it wasn't the doctor.
It reminded me of Nightmare on Elm Street because, we couldn't see the monster. We could just see him, like...
We just see the after...
slashing up the doctor and dragging him down the hall and stuff.
Exactly. But...
It's a pretty creepy episode.
Yeah. How do they explain that, by the way? This doctor's just slashed to death in the hospital.
They don't, because it's the Hellmouth, and everybody just accepts everything that happens.
Right.
Because just like when Giles and Willow were talking, and he was saying, God, what was it they were arguing about? Like,
Giles was like, she's got a fever. Maybe she doesn't like hospitals. Maybe she didn't see anything. Maybe she just, maybe it's just a hallucination or whatever.
Right, and then Willow's like, yeah, but, since we live on the Hellmouth, maybe we think about
Right. Because he didn't know any monsters that it could be.
And then Cordelia was helping them with their research, because that's a thing Cordelia does now.
Yeah, Cordelia's just with them now.
And she was looking in a book for this monster, and then it turns out he's on the cover. Like, she's like, I can't find him.
I can't find him in here. Oh, he's the cover. He's the cover model.
And it turns out that he sucks the life force out of children.
Yeah, he's kinder something.
It's awful.
It means child death.
So, and then we're seeing flashbacks of Buffy's little cousin dying, and it's you realize that this is the thing that killed her cousin.
Right, and she realizes it.
Yeah. So then she wants to kick its ass.
And then the other red flag is that they say, it could be that it could just appear to be a regular person. Mm-hmm. Because Giles says, what's something that kids sometimes see us for who we really are? Mm-hmm. Be behind the masks. So you're thinking, well, maybe he's not invisible. Maybe he's somebody in the episode. So there's this fucking security guard dude that Cordelia's flirting with and everything. He seems really weird. At one point, he's like, "The doctor's a great man. He knows something that most people don't have the guts to admit, that sometimes kids need to die." What a weird thing for a security guard who, it turns out, is not a monster, I guess, to say.
I never thought about that. But yeah, that was a fucked up thing.
And that never goes anywhere.
Boy, they really were trying to mess with us this whole time.
Yeah, it really is just an invisible dude.
And Buffy finds she cannot see him when she doesn't have the fever, and she's getting better, and they're going to discharge her from the hospital. So then, and this is 100% how life works.
Yeah, I'm all right.
Her mom is like, "Oh, you want to stay longer?" Because she's like, "Oh, I'm not ready to go home, Mom." And she just talks to the doctor like, "Okay, she can stay another night."
Right. Insurance will just pay for that, huh?
I mean, you maybe stand a chance of talking yourself out of the hospital. I have accomplished that.
Okay.
But talking yourself in is a lot harder.
I've threatened to leave against doctor's advice before.
Yeah.
And then eventually they just discharge you.
Well, I didn't threaten to leave against doctor's advice. I cried.
Oh, yeah.
I cried, in fact, and said, "I just want to go home, please."
But my own bed is better.
Exactly. So
Buffy stays in the hospital.
And she's not actually sick anymore, but this doctor's been giving this stuff to the kids to give them fevers.
It's like a diluted amount of the virus to help them get better. And Willow's looking at his notes and shit, and he's like, "Oh, it was working, I guess." So what he was doing, he killed the doctor because the doctor was helping them to get better.
Right.
And he didn't want that.
Oh, because it would take away his food supply.
Yeah, because he can only kill them when they can see him, and they can only see them when they have the fever.
But what? Just hang out. I mean, it's a children's ward in a hospital.
Just hang
More
out,
will
dude.
come.
Come on, just chill, man. Just chill out.
Don't you think though? I mean, it seems like if that's the place he's going for food, more sick children will come in. Mm-hmm. Whatever.
And the way that he killed them is he sat on their chests, and then flowers grew out of his eyes and attached to their foreheads.
Tentacles.
Yeah, but they looked like little daisies or something.
Oh.
They had petals.
It kind of reminded me of the monster that people sometimes say they see when they're having sleep paralysis.
Oh, okay. Like a sleep paralysis demon.
But I mean, this is not the same because these people are moving and stuff, so they're
Right.
not in sleep paralysis.
No.
But yeah, it's really gross and creepy and awful. So Buffy takes a double dose of this medicine because she thinks she's going to need more than the average bear. I don't know. I think that's stupid. She gets real sick. Willow has to hold her up, but she can see him. And these kids have banded together. Like, they figure out what's going on.
Yeah.
And
weird.
they're hiding from the monster.
They're hiding, like, in the... Yeah. They go down to the basement of the hospital because the room that the child's ward in just has a door that says basement access on it.
Right?
Right in the child's room.
What the... Yeah, like, who would do that? And that's not even locked.
God, did an owl come in here for a second? Who would do that?
Shut up, you meanie.
It is weird, though.
So they go down to the basement. They're hiding from the monster. And one of the kids gets grabbed. The monster finds them quite easily.
I love how derisive you are of the kid's ability to hide. The monster finds them quite easily. These are not the brightest children that we're dealing with here.
Well, no, I mean, it was a smart idea. Just poorly executed.
Just terrible execution by these morons who deserve to die.
Aww. And the monster gets the kid for like a minute. I wonder if he sucked out some of his life.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh. But,
kids die when he's 62. I could have made it to 80.
But Buffy saves him. She rips the thing off and kicks its ass.
Yeah. And then snaps its neck.
Yeah, that's how she kills it. She just snaps his neck. Because they were like, how are you going to kill it? And she said, I was thinking I'd try violence.
Right. And that just works.
Yeah, whatever. There was a scene when you were like, Xander's a badass, but I don't remember what it was.
Because Angel kept coming to the hospital because he can, because it's an open place.
Mm-hmm.
And Angel's like, hey, I'm going to fucking kill Buffy while she's in here. And Xander's basically like walks up to him and he's like, you're going to have to go through me. And he's like, you really think you're going to be able to stop me? And Xander's like, I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe you can get through me. And then maybe you can get through the orderlies. And then maybe you can get through those cops over there. And then maybe you can get into her room. I don't know. I'd like to see, though. It's just like, I'd like to see you try. And then he just stares at him, and finally Angel's just like, whatever, I'm leaving, and he leaves.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. He really is very protective of Buffy. Which Cordelia does not like.
Cordelia's like, yeah, you're always watching her back. And he's like, what does that mean? Or you like watching her back? And he's like, what does that mean? And she goes, I'm saying you like looking at her ass.
Well, she didn't say ass.
She said butt, because it's the WB.
Yeah, exactly.
And then she says, well, you can watch my back for a change. And then she walks away.
Yeah.
And then he does look at her ass.
I think she's equally pretty. Maybe even more so.
Yeah, it's close.
And the fact that he's distracted from her, who wants to make out with him, by Buffy, who won't give him like a second glance, is irritating.
Yeah, I kind of wish that they would just move past this and have them just be friends.
Yeah,
and have him and Cordelia be in like fully committed relationship, because that would be, I don't know. I get what they're doing, I guess, but like there's enough conflict that this just feels distracting.
Meh.
I'd like that part of their lives to be solid, and then they can just have conflict in the other stuff.
I feel like it would be more believable if Cordelia wasn't so pretty. They should tone her down if they're going to do this.
I guess, yeah.
But anyway, in the end, Buffy kills the monster and saves the children, and yay! Everybody's still sick from this virus at school, though.
Well, they come back and they're all in Buffy's bedroom. And they're all a little sick, and they're asking for stuff from Buffy's mom.
Yeah, this was hilarious.
Like yogurt or whatever. I don't know. What did they ask for?
Xander asked for chips, I think.
Oh, yeah. And she's like, oh, they're all gone. And he's like, no, there's one box left behind the whatever. He explains exactly in the pantry where she hid them.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, okay.
And he's like, why's your mom bogarting the chips? What's up with that?
Right. While he's drinking a Surge.
Yeah.
That his hand is strategically covering the label. I assume because the Surge didn't pay them for product placement.
Right. But yeah, I mean, her poor mom, like, she has to anybody need anything because she's being nice, and like all 4 of them had requests.
Right. All 4 of them. Was Giles there too?
Oh, was there only the 3 of them?
Yeah, Giles was just hanging out.
No, I was thinking
in a student's bedroom, and there's no question about that.
I thought Cordelia was there.
I don't. Maybe she was. I don't think so though.
So it was
pretty sure it was just Buffy, Willow, and Xander.
Okay, but yeah, so she's just taking care of all of them, and it's no surprise they're sick because nobody was using any kind of protective gear, even though this is a contagious virus.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing is I guess you could believe it from the kids, but like the doctors weren't either. They talked to a doctor at one point in the episode, a doctor that never puts on gloves or a mask or anything. Like, have you ever heard of droplet transmission?
Right.
You're a doctor. Like, there are precautions.
Exactly.
I know someone that works in a hospital, and different rooms have different precautions and different procedures of. Like, the person I know does food service at the hospital, but they still have to do, anytime, like, if they go into certain rooms, they have to put on certain protective gear, depending on what the person has.
Right, because, yeah, you don't want to be picking up bugs and spreading them around.
Yeah, that's the big thing, is they don't want you spreading them from room to room. Mm-hmm. But yeah, there's, like, droplet transmission, there's airborne transmission, there's something else too. Like there's like 3 or 4 different things, different precautions.
Well, there's contact precautions. I know that. And
yeah, I just remember he said droplet was one. It's like, stuff that passes by in droplets. So you have to wear a mask, you have to have gloves, and I think there's like a paper thing they put over their clothes or whatever, and you just throw it all away after you leave the room.
Right.
And wash your hands because there's a hand washing station, and that helps prevent the spread of diseases and stuff. Because that's the big thing, is they don't want, when you're working in a hospital and you're going from room to room, because the regular rooms, like if you're on a cardiac floor or something like that, and there's just people that have heart conditions or like transmittable diseases, there's no real precautions or anything like that. They're just they're just there and whatever. But they don't want you going into someone that's got something that's spreadable and then going into all the other rooms and spreading it to the entire floor. Yeah,
or God forbid, go into one of the contagious people's rooms and then go to the cardiac floor or the cancer floor.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that's the big thing. But yeah, it's funny that there's there's this big transmittable disease and no doctors are taking any precautions at all.
But, I mean, that's the whole episode, I think. I don't remember Spike or Drusilla or anything like that.
No, that was it.
Just sickness and death.
And a little bit of Angel.
Yeah.
A little touch of Angel. They show us at the beginning, like, Giles is like, previously on Buffy the Vampire Slayer. It's like, you're in a show, Giles? And they show Marie Callender and everything. And then, the one thing that they say about it is Buffy's mom is like, oh, she told me about Miss Callender, sorry. And she's like, you won't, get a Popeye again or whatever. And he's like, yeah, it's sad.
The fuck?
Marie Callender. She makes food. It's a company that makes food.
I understand that.
They make Popeyes.
Oh, I thought you said Popeye. And I was thinking of, I'm Popeye the Sailor Man, and I didn't understand where you were going.
You're thinking of Popeye Doyle from the French Connection?
I don't know.
Anyway, so that is the episode, though.
So you can write us at latefee1994AOL.com. Mm-hmm. Check out our website at www.retrolatefee.com.
Yes.
Only say nice things about us, and share your tapes with your friends.
All right, we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.